Greetings, adventurers, heroes, and villains, and welcome to Burgscneider Live, your gateway to epic LARP battles, awesome historically inspired and fantasy clothing, and all things, and all things LARP.
Oh, we have.
Yeah. That's what happens when you listen to yourself, guys. You're too keen to get started, and here you are, listening to yourself, caught with your pants down in the general public. But
happens.
Boy, are we excited to get off absolutely seamlessly, right?
Yeah.
So seamlessly on our first live stream with no incidents, no troubles, no issues whatsoever. So please grab yourselves a tankard, ready your gear, and join myself, Herbert Peppard, the wonderful Nico, Mike, and Emma as we dive into our very first ever episode of Burgscheider Live. So this has been a work in progress. We're all a bundle of nerds. We've been practicing a bunch on this for a while, but we're very happy to be here today to be sharing all the things about Burgschneider with you. Why we are here? That is a good question. Well, I guess we feel for a long time, or many of us in the organization have felt for a long time, that the ideas and concepts and what Burgscneider is are kind of exist inside of this black box. So in order to change that, we're taking some people who work within the organization to step outside of that and engage with the public, being you, on a regular basis about all the things that are going on a weekly basis inside of Burgschneider and the many exciting and new and adventurous projects that we have coming up and going on.
Yeah.
We are representing different people from the organization. I am across a few different departments, from media to events, and then a little bit helping out with promotion and other things. Nico knows everything and anything that goes on with all of the ins and outs of the stocks of our organization. Mike is a marketing wizard who comes up with all of the awesome stuff that we have to bring. And Emma is a media mogul of Burgschneider. And together we all bring hopefully different aspects, different opinions, and different faces to this live stream that we can present information with you as best as possible. But that said, we may not be the only people who appear on this stream, isn't that right?
Yeah.
That's right.
So I've heard.
Yeah. So we are expecting to have a variety of guests coming through as we go forwards. And also, we are expecting to have potentially other new people taking over. This is
mystery guests in and outside of the organization.
In and outside of the organization.
Yeah.
Because that is the second point about this particular live stream, is it's not just about telling you what's going on inside of Burgschneider, but it's also about engaging with you and the broader community in a new way to try and sort of, I guess, open up the experience and create a level of transparency and create opportunities for you guys to come in and join us and share the experiences and projects, your experiences of the projects that we're building.
Exactly.
As well. And even maybe further afield to other creators, because we have an interest in tabletop games. So maybe we'll talk to other people who make tabletop games. Maybe we'll talk to other people who run LARPs. Maybe we'll just see how this all unfolds and have a really good time jumping along this merry road together.
We might even talk to one of you, like our viewers here.
Yeah, maybe you can come on and join us. If you ever find yourself in Frankfurt one day and you've got nothing else to do on a Tuesday night, we are definitely open to having visitors.
Oh, yeah.
But the main thing that another thing we were excited about is being on this new set, which is pretty cool. It's a little rough around the edges. There are some things that will be changing, and you'll see production value improvements over the next few episodes.
Yeah.
But we have this amazing centerpiece going on at the back of our studio, which is, in fact, a really, really, really cool piece that was made by an artist called Ungbilder, who is on Instagram, and she made this for the Sturmwacht event that happened in February this year. It was a super amazing event. Not sure if you guys were there. I was there.
I was there.
We have definitely a lot of highlights, and there will be some content coming out for that. But we had this amazing artist come in and build this particular video for us. Just putting that up on the screen right now. If you want to check out their Instagram, get involved with what they do, you can actually see some live footage of them dressing and making
Very nice.
the costume, the Wendigo costume, on their Instagram.
Beautiful.
And additionally, we might just share with you a little video of us dressing the wonderful Simon at Stonebox.
Yeah, one of my
Who was-
favorites.
Yeah, he's one of our favorites. And just enjoy this.
Simon, that's why they.
You may think it's
why they
upside
pay you the big bucks. All right, cool.
Recording like the first of the vomiting
dressing.
part. Yes. What's
Yeah, it's getting a bit fast. I didn't want to show you the entire dressing process, but kind of fun. We get a special guest very soon, actually.
Right.
I've got this going that you
It's
can.
pretty tall.
Yeah. Well, he's already a tall guy.
Yeah.
So my biggest
This
point.
is the, with that mask, it's gonna be low color. Oh, someone is there. Who is that?
I don't know. I
Standing.
recognize this person.
A mysterious stranger.
Never see me from that angle.
Yeah. It's okay.
They're really cool. Yeah.
Pick it up and do a little 360. I wasn't able to do that.
actually coming quite.
So this is when we figured out that it was going to be very hard to
Okay, so as
actually
on your
have him performing this particular
It's on
version of the helmet.
throat, the line.
Oh,
Because it's pulling
okay.
down.
Beautiful.
Okay, so you're not going to do action in this.
Yeah,
as
so
in you're not going to
I
do
need
fighting.
to be like. Oh, yeah, but you
Okay,
see
no, okay,
it's-
so let's try the other head, because if this is too much, if you can't actually perform in this
Yeah, super funny.
then we
Simon is
should
pretty
try
tall and
some-
try to organize the hair. And he looks like little tiny.
Hi.
And then hey! Realization.
Then we get to the rest. So now this is where we're putting on the second head. Now the second head is all foam, whereas the first head had some large components that were made of resin, which made it really heavy. So this is the stunt head, which is actually good because this guy Simon was being wrestled to the ground by a team of players at one point during the game. So if he had those huge horns on,
That would have been
Cutting it.
good.
That'd be
Yeah.
nice. Good. That's
Maybe it's
perfect.
better the back.
No, the front was good. It just, that's perfect. It's
This
perfect.
is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, because it's supposed to, it doesn't want to cut people, and you can feel it, which is nice.
Yeah.
The thing that you need to do is get used to swinging it at someone. So if I'm coming out with a sword, you need to not punch them. Yeah. So get used to.
No.
Yeah. So not.
dangerous business.
Dangerous beast.
Yeah.
Well, he definitely looks in his element, though.
The
Yeah,
Wendigo's
right.
coming.
Yeah.
The Wendigo's gonna get you.
That's right, boys and girls, we're coming back live at you with the Adiron crew. We got Wendigo in the house. My man from the Church of the Sun and the Moon's gonna break you all down. If you witches think you can mess with us, you got another thing coming. We'll see you in the field of battle. Be ready for absolute destruction.
Yeah.
Nice shot.
Yeah. So we're going to see Simon doing his thing, a little bit of Emma sneaking in there
Yeah.
now and again.
I loved your guys' fighting choreo. That was really funny.
Yeah.
So real.
Yeah, absolutely, 100% believable. Paid off because when he was out there doing it on the field, and you can see some of this footage. If you go into the YouTube channel, you can check out the original Stonebox trailer. I believe you cut that one together, Emma. Is that right?
The one from this year?
Yeah, from 2025.
Yeah, exactly. That.
Yeah, and there's some battlefield footage there. You can see the Wendigo in action and see how that training paid off. But that actually brings me to another interesting point about this. And some of you may have noticed this. But that is that the Burgschneider, the Realms of Mythodea channel, which is what we were on up until about midday today, has now changed into the Burgschneider channel because we're, I guess, trying to bring everything that we're doing together under one umbrella.
Yeah, just to have like one central hub so that it's just easier to find everything. And because basically on these live streams, we're going to be talking both about the event side and also the product side. So I think just having that all together just makes things a bit easier.
And on the plus side of this, it means that we'll be paying more attention to the channel and uploading much more content. We have obviously these streams coming out every week, but then it's also highly likely that you'll see one or two other videos. Both of the videos that you've seen on the stream, or at least the Wendigo video, will be up tomorrow. So if you didn't catch it here, you can catch it there. And obviously the Sturmbach trailer is already on the site, available for you to watch, to see those epic Wendigo battle sequences.
Yay!
Yeah.
But yeah, and exploring the other things like the amazing Brandywine Festival, which we've been celebrating a lot lately.
Yeah.
It's got past 500,000 and it's still climbing. The Kickstarter is closed.
With an initial goal of 80K, by the way. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
But
it's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
yeah, but it's still running, but we already closed it.
Kickstarter is closed, but you can still buy tickets. That said, I think there are only 200 or 300 tickets left.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really
okay.
dwindling down. I haven't checked recently, but there's really not many left, so...
Yeah, so if that's something you are interested in, then you can absolutely, get involved, go to the States and be a hobbit for a week. But
if you're interested, though, like, get on it, though, because really...
yeah, absolutely.
While supplies last.
Yeah. But it's also interesting because we just came off the back of RPV.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if anyone watched the panel on RPV, but when we were there at RPV, we actually announced with regarding the Brandywine Festival that we are going to be trying next year, if everything works out well, to be putting on a Brandywine Festival, at the very least in Germany.
Yeah.
We're not sure exactly when, we're not sure exactly where, we're not exactly sure if 100% for certain it will happen, but it's definitely on the cards. Everyone inside of the organization is so excited about the acceleration of the project on Kickstarter,
Yeah.
Actually, we are completely happy. Actually, when the moment we was checked, it was like a shock
Yeah.
how fast it was.
Yeah.
There was something really positive. I'm really, really grateful with the people, especially with USA, to give us the opportunity to just bring this festival to there. I mean, like the LARP style here in Germany,
Yeah.
put it in America. That's what is, for me, it's kind of mind blowing. I'm really, really happy and excited.
Absolutely. I'm so looking forward to see just how that event will go. And I think we're going to have so much fun there.
Yeah. You're gonna be there.
I will be there.
Oh, I'm excited. Much jelly.
It seems really like your speed, too, like this sort of cozy
Exactly, more like
cottagecore.
ambient, cottagecore. I love hobbits, and I feel like I'm like their style of living I can totally relate to, and it's like super cool. So yeah.
And on the other side of things, it's going to be really cool to take that element of, like you're saying, German LARP to the States, and particularly to an audience which, from all of our ticket sales, tell us is 90% non-LARPers who have bought tickets to this event. People will be with their families, and it is LARP, but it's mostly an in-costume Hobbit event with LARP options. So there are quests, there are side quests, there are things that happen. But if you just want to wander around and be a Hobbit for a weekend, then my goodness,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a good time.
And who doesn't want to, really? I mean,
Yeah. Yes, of course. And also we're gonna do the most important thing. I think is two things: food
Yeah.
Yeah.
and go to favorite tavern and drink your favorite drink.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. And possibly try it out during the other people drinking their favorite drink. But look, RPP wasn't just about our panels and announcements. It was also, we had a massive Beware store there with huge discounts. Hopefully everyone got in and had a good time. Yeah, look, we are all hyped for the Brandywine Festival. Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. And it's maybe not just in the States, also hopefully in Germany, maybe elsewhere. We can't say for sure.
Distant future.
Absolutely in the not too distant future. I mean, it's already the middle of this LARP season. By the time you get past it, it will be next year's LARP season already. Super can't wait. But also, we had a stall. So we kind of went as a team
Yeah.
for the first time to an event where we represented Burgschneider Live, and we had a Burgschneider Live booth where we took a whole lot of cool photos and images and videos and did some interviews with some people. And if you guys are interested, we'll just have a little look at some of the people that we got some amazing moving stills of.
Actually, I was really, really happy with the people over there. I mean, like, it was also my first time in, putting it in that way, like in the battlefield, calling like that.
Yeah.
But my first time speaking with
Front
people.
lines.
Front lines.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Doing media, giving interviews.
It's not my first time doing it, which is I'm really grateful with the people who was speaking, especially with me, also with the rest of my colleagues,
absolutely.
because it was super kind. It was super kind.
100%, and it was more nerve-wracking than I would have thought. To just stand there and talk to random strangers, and then go up and do a panel talk, and then go back.
Because we had done the panel first, right? We'd done the panel
Exactly.
first.
But I was super nervous doing it, but everyone was so nice and so just kind and responsive that it made it really easy.
Really enthusiastic too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's indicative of the LARP community, the cosplay community. We really live in a new era where everyone is so excited just to be there and be around other people who are elevating their game. Let's have a quick look at some of these cool pictures, cool people.
We got it.
Yeah. Yeah, some
Nice.
people from representing front factions
That,
there.
that angel looks so fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so cool. So this is a war.
Super nice.
Nice. Yeah. It's so cool. So cool.
Yeah. And like, thank you for the people
thank
really
you for
being
everyone who
there.
did that with us.
Yeah, it was so good. And it was just cool, like to walk up to people and say, "Hey, do you want to come and do a little interview, do a little twirl?" Some of the interviews, if we can make them work, we were right in the front entrance, so there was a lot of activity, and we had the big screen playing with sound. But we're gonna clean up and try and get a few of those interviews up. Again, they'll be launching either through our stories or the YouTube channel, just to get a little bit of extra tidbits out there and hear what people have to say about the costumes that they worked so hard on.
Yeah.
It's really, really fun.
So many people, like, their eyes just really lit up when we approached them, being like, "Hey, like, you look awesome. Do you want to, like, talk with us for a little bit?" And they were just so, like, they were glowing. Like, it was really cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just so cool to see how happy people are to talk about the things that they put so much work in, because we talked to a lot of cosplayers, obviously, and a lot of them, like the vast majority of them, said that they did all of their cosplays completely by themselves, and so much dedication, so much time that goes into that. And I'm just it's so cool that they're like so happy to talk about it, and
They
they
was
get to
really
share
proud
it.
about that. I just in this time I just sharing with the people. I just made my little personal thread.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to see the guys in one of the videos appear one of the chapters of the Warhammer.
Oh, the Space Marine.
Yeah.
The chap with the skull face and the red glowing eyes. Did you like him, Nico?
Allah. I feel
You
like
should, guys.
You were a kid on Christmas morning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was so nice. It was so cool. If just in case, boy, thank you very much. You are amazing.
Cool. It was so cool. And we're going to do some links for those people. Not in this video, but we'll hopefully try and get some credits back to the people who put so much effort in, and we got to take the videos up, which is awesome.
Yeah.
When we release that specific video of the supercut, we'll put the links to their Instagrams and their socials in there. So if you want to check them out, see what's going on, see what people are making. Some of those guys are actually involved in other communities and other LARPs. So, they have a lot to say, and they're open and out there. Some of them are just people who wore awesome cosplays. Like there was the Battle Sister in the armor, and that was her first cosplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I didn't.
Yeah, right? That was the first cosplay she ever made, and it was amazing.
That's really impressive. And also, it's 1,000 of hours of working on it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, I think that's the nature of the community, right? There's so many people out there, there's so many videos, there's so many creators who are out there helping you that you can just come at it from nothing. Like if you're a new LARPer in the world or a new cosplayer in the world, like there's so much more media about these things online. It's just so cool.
Yeah.
And obviously Burgschneider is interested in that because all of the stuff that we make is like bases for your imagination, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the can.
It's the canvas. The canvas that is Burgschneider.
Exactly.
But the other thing that we did, apart from engaging with people, is we had a little trial session of our first Realms of Mythodea. I would call it a cross between a travel center and a recruitment center for our NSC factions. And we had a little area there, and you could come in and sit down and meet the cool people who are existing NSCs, a lot of them from the Undead Flesh, but we also had some Skarg in there, some Ataronians, and we even saw some Black Ice around, and it was just a really, really great vibe. They were working with the wine store next door, so you could come in, sit down, be served a glass of wine.
Oh, that's really cool.
That was fancy, actually.
Yeah,
That's
right?
good.
Yeah. Sit down on the nice, comfortable chairs and take your load off and find out about what it is to be an NSC in Mythodea. So we've got a little supercut about some of the things there. So I've got this little video we're going to look at. It's got some shots of us in the panel, some shots of Ruth's
really?
panels, some shots of the travel center. But like quick shout out to the team. This is not everybody in the team, but this was absolutely a core group of the people who were there the whole time, and huge shout out to all these guys from Acheron, Undead Flesh, the various levies, and obviously some of the Skargan kids who came by. It was absolutely amazing. Just to have them on board and to present the flyers and show off some of the new faction material. But here are a few highlights. Warhammer stuff.
Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, that's new.
Yeah, I hate that. These things at all.
We will see.
And here's the business offices. And then all those guys, and many of the guys are also on the stage with them at the end there as well. Yeah, just a little quick cut, but you can see a little bit of the action there. And also some of the Warhammer stuff, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing. I was happy doing that. Sorry, I'm getting also very prepared for the business.
Can you try and tell me you're not comfortable enough on this nice sofa we provided for you, Nico?
Maybe in the future I deserve another one, but for the moment I'm happy.
But yeah, it was really cool to see the panel. Obviously, having the travel center there, the recruitment center. That's an idea that we're sort of trying out. A lot of people engaged with it over the weekend, and it's likely something we might have at other events in the future. It should be cool. But also, you got to see us having a panel. A lot of the stuff we're talking about today, we talked about on the panel.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Which was cool.
Exactly.
But then additionally, Ruth's panel was super cool. And Ruth's panel was particularly cool because they were introducing all of the new NSC factions into the game. And so talking about not just the existing factions, which is like the Undead Flesh and the Black Dynasty and the Ataronians and obviously the Skargan as well, who are some of the fighting NSCs, but they're in particular 10 new player or 8 new player-friendly NSC factions, like brand spanking new ones that are going to be coming when we go into Sarkhan. And if anyone doesn't know the difference, obviously we're talking about a live-action role-playing game called the Realms of Mythodea, where we play a bunch of games every year, and you can come along as players and dress in costumes and have a lot of fun playing in those costumes. And then there are other people who will play NSCs. And one of the really set piece or defining factors of the Realms of Mythodea style of gameplay is that there are antagonistic NSC factions who are out there to fight you on battlefields and are trying to come against the players and some of the player-friendly NSC factions. And the player-friendly NSC factions are definitely friendly to the NSC, to the players, but then they all have their own agendas as well and their own visions, and they don't necessarily get along. So internal conflicts get on. And previously in the past, we've had like a limited number, maybe 4 or 5 friendly NSC factions, but now we're going to be going into a new period in this event cycle into Sarkhan, this conquest, and it's going to be a whole new world.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's going to be very impressive, especially for the quantity of new factions there's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited.
Me too. Yeah.
I'm trying to do not spoil myself. That is the
Yeah.
only a little annoying thing, because I'm a LARPer too.
Yeah.
So
Really?
no. So so the thing is, as organization, of course, we knew what was going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
But as the kid inside in me saying like, don't look at it, because I wanted to just go and then expect.
Okay, no spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Okay,
No spoilers.
so does that mean we're not allowed to talk about the new NSC factions?
No, I knew it, already knew it. So we can talk about it a little bit.
Okay. All right, so
Yeah, I'm actually also so excited to see what the people who are gonna be representing those NSC factions are gonna come up with for their garments and how they're gonna look. I think it's gonna be so cool because it's a completely new concept of
yeah.
style, but also the like cultures behind it, like the yeah.
This has been going on in the background. The event team, on the plot team in particular, has been like really chipping away at this concept and building people and building teams and building ideas and working on development for like about 5 years now to transition into this new aspect of the world, which is really exciting. The former player-friendly factions, they were all of the tribes. So I believe there was the Nalda, the the old ones. If you're sorry,
The new ones. This is what were the name of the former player-friendly NPC factions?
yeah. So those were the tribes which were bound to Mythosphere. Okay, Mythosphere is the old content which we were coming from. You'll find them on the website if you go to the player-friendly NSC section. You can go down to the bottom, but yeah, they are all representative of kind of like the old element structure.
Yeah.
And they've been sort of playing out and moving on and just going through their stories and their processes as these new stories. And we've been meeting new factions like the Ataronian faction, which has come in. The Skargum was a relatively new faction that came into the game as well, only about 4 or 5 years ago. And then, of course, into the Tubrani, who are these strange, like mushroom-like creatures, or they have a symbiotic relationship. Look, you'll have to really dig in to find out about this stuff. There is the Greifenbraun, who are a militaristic knight-style faction, being inspired heavily by sort of that sort of early pre-German, Holy Roman Empire, Prussian kind of alliance era kind of stuff. We're going to be seeing the Crimson Sales Company come out a little bit more, and their hand will be played a little heavier in the world as it goes forwards. There will be oh, hello there, Mr. Miller. Fancy seeing you out online. We'll see the Balia, who are, very nature-driven people with no untoward or sinister motives whatsoever. Whatsoever. And this is also not to mention a lot of the work that's going into factions that are just being hinted at that we might also see again in the future, like maybe the Bontrell. What do we know about them? I don't know. If you were at the beta test, you might know a little bit more about some of these factions, but there will be some images coming out, and you can actually have a look at the beta test trailer, the call out. In fact, it was a call out video that was put together by Bale Miller, who's just jumped into chat now. That featured a lot of the new NSC factions, and as Emma was talking about before, people who had started to interpret them into particular costumes. It's like very, very, very cool.
Yeah,
very, very, very
really
cool.
nice.
And this is obviously a part of our road to Sarkhan.
Yeah.
This whole process of finding our way there, and like finding our way through the nooks and crannies and the places and the people to eventually find our way there. And as part of that process, we're going to be also releasing a series of videos about the road to Sarkhan. Now, we are made this video is not entirely accurate. I'm just going to have to put a disclaimer here.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of the words that you may see in this video might not be correct. particularly with regard to the origins of the animals.
Okay.
So we're just gonna have to turn a blind eye to some of these things, and we're all gonna come in together and have a little watch of this little teaser, which will be the first of a series of videos that you're gonna see over the coming months as we work towards conquest. What could I possibly be doing there? Okay, so here I am just starting to get the patterning laid out on the great big polystyrene sheets. What could I possibly be making giant polystyrene sheets? Could be anything at all.
No.
Yeah. Like I said, this is just the first one to give you an idea of the scale of something that's coming. This is a piece. I'll give you a hint. It's a piece for a giant prop that'll be featuring at Conquest for the first time.
It's very interesting.
It's getting bigger.
It's so weird, super fast.
Yeah. But you know, I want to see it faster. I want to see it more. Why aren't I faster? Why can't I do this in like 10 seconds? In like 2 minutes?
Yeah, it's a long process for that.
And just snap your fingers.
Yeah.
Magically put all this together.
I want this.
Okay, now we're getting onto the assembling that center piece, and we're gonna get into a whole bunch of smoothing with the chainsaw pretty soon. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, nothing cuts polystyrene like chainsaw. Versatility of these things. Yeah. Rolling all down the sides.
Yeah, it was the moment with the shot.
Yeah, and now I'm on the sandpaper. Got a little bit of Appalachian vibes, be pretty cool.
Yeah. That's a lot.
To be continued. To be continued.
Wow.
To be continued.
Working
Yeah.
process. Working process.
Yeah, so that was about
Cool.
2 days
Yeah.
of just getting stuff laid down. It took an extra day or so to make all the preparation, and it took a while to get all the materials together to get that started. But I will be in the prop mines, working hard for your pleasure.
I'm still
No worries.
amazed that you do all of that yourself. Like it's crazy. Like
the amount of work.
Exactly, the amount of work that goes into that. It's like
Yeah, well, look, it's not. So, funnily enough, actually, the assembly is not the longest part. The longest part of this process is covering it with cloth. And stay tuned, we are going to be doing a call out soon for people to come and help us. So if you actually want to get in and do a sneak peek on what this is about, there may be a little incentive plan for people who help me out to have the option to maybe, this isn't officially cleared with plot team yet though, so don't hold me to it. Maybe if you come and volunteer building these giant props with me, then you might be able to put some graffiti on them from your character.
Oh,
Because I failed to see why there would be a vast open wasteland full with all of these like bones from an unknown creature.
who knows?
Completely
Yeah.
unknown
Really?
type of sort of creature without having some kind of graffiti put on them at some point over the
Right.
years.
that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, right. You want to help me?
That's lovely.
Carvings, like
Like, I've been working also doing props, not as much as the experience as you have.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Also, it was in the time I was doing swords too, so I got an idea how I was working with
Oh,
with
nice.
swords. Yeah, in forma. Yeah.
oh, I didn't know that.
Very cool.
Yeah, back in times it was like practicing doing swords, because it was like my first touch getting backgrounds. Yeah, I have to accept that working with latex is kind of be hard, but the
Oh, I
rest, the
can
modeling
imagine.
is
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
Needs practice. But
Oh man, working with latex is smelly. Like that's the thing. It's like I love it. It's great. We have other good products that work pretty well for making weapons, but I think that most latex or smoke weapons are still like the superior weapons for homemade weapons outside of self-skinning expanding foam. And the amount of money that goes into like the silicone preparation, and even the product itself to do the self-skinning process with a polyurethane usually is prohibitively expensive for most first timers. It's more expensive if you're only making 1 or 2 swords. If you're doing like a batch of like 20 swords, then it's worth investing in the setup. But if you're just making a one-off sword, latex is still the best, the best thing to use. Carve the foam, put the spray adhesive on it, cover it with the latex, like 7 to 10 layers of latex, and but it's smelly because it's ammonia. I can think of a few other things that leach ammonia, and I also don't like the smell of.
Yeah, that's what I don't like. Oh, wait, so someone asking you, they say, are you planning new dungeons for the future? Events like one of the past conquests, for example.
Okay. So as somebody who has run a dungeon twice at Conquest, I definitely have a desire to come back to the dungeon making process.
Absolutely.
And to get into creating environments where people can actually like get lost, have challenges, overcome various encounters, and have monsters and creatures in there. You may have seen a sneaky unicorn video that went up on some of the social media, not Burgschneider, but my private social media a while ago. That was a fun process. I can tell you for certain that I am under no small amount of pressure from the plot team to make sure that we have monsters coming to Sarkhan. So
Nice.
You can, maybe not this year so much because my focus is going to be on the bigger environments. But as we move into next year's event cycle, we're going to start putting in the details, and the basic structure that we've been working so hard on for 5 years is going to start seeing so much more detail come up. And dungeons, I have a strong suspicion that will be one of those points.
So in my personal opinion, that needs to be a thing. They need, there needs to be a dungeon at next Conquest, because for me they were always the highlight or one of my highlights for Conquest, because it's this hidden sort of Easter egg, this hidden experience you can have that you don't. It's like you don't know about, but then you can find it, and it's like super cool. So I feel like,
It sounds
if it could be there,
we got a good experience over there, yeah.
Now, on the flip side of that, there is I'd like to speak on behalf of my events team side at this point and say that, yes, there are these hidden experiences, there are these hidden places, there are these cool things to uncover and discover and play through. But because of that, and obviously limited staffing, not everyone is able to go through those experiences. So we have had a couple of times where we've run the dungeon and we've run people through the dungeon. We've run them through on multiple and you've got NSCs who are in there for like hours at a time, while teams of adventurers are like going through and having these experiences, collecting treasure, finding out this information. And then sometimes some people will come up to you and be like, "We wanted to go in the dungeon and we didn't find it. Why? We paid to come to this event. Why can't we go in the dungeon?" And unfortunately, these are things that are limited based on our staffing capacities, the capacity of our volunteers, and the times of operation. Because particularly in the German summer, it's light for most of the time. I think it's only like 6 hours a day or 7 hours a day at the height of summer when Conquest runs, where you can actually run the dungeon for that period of time.
Yeah.
That means it starts working at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So if you're doing a 4-hour shift, you're going to
Yeah.
It's kind of complicated,
But that said, it means that those people who do find it and do unlock those things have like amazing experiences, and we can guarantee the quality of that experience, and it's so much fun. So yes, dungeons will be a thing. How they manifest, what they're going to look like, we don't know at the moment, but I can tell you they are on the horizon. Not this year Conquest. There will be something this year Conquest to explore. There will be some secrets and some secret places. I can't tell you what they are. You'll have to find them yourselves.
Yeah.
But no, the main immersive experience that we're curating at this point, at least with the events team, from what I understand, is the big props, the big environment feels, and all of the NSC factions, all the new NSC factions that are coming in to build this new detailed environment for you to really explore.
Yeah. I just enjoying the person that is ready to us is it's very obvious that it was with us 2 years ago. It was basically say 2 years ago the dungeons it was floating into the rain. It was true. It was super cool.
Mythodea.
Okay, it was. Yeah. Okay, that was Mythodea 2 years ago. So that was only my second conquest. Okay, and I was running the dungeon, second time in a row in that conquest. And I went up to Jeppe at the time, who was like running all the NSCs, and he was working his ass off along with all the other NSCs, many other volunteers who came to stop the mud. So if you don't know the story, it rained a lot. Wacken, the biggest heavy metal festival in Germany, shut down. It's completely closed. Lost a lot of money.
Yeah, there was a lot of water. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Wacken. I've never seen photos like knee deep. At Conquest, we got hit by quite a lot of rain, particularly a lot of heavy rain all at one time, and so trenches had to be dug. Some tents did float away, but we were able to keep going, and we kept going. And I was out in the middle of the night, being like, okay, what can I do to help? Then I realized I wasn't across the infrastructure. I couldn't help the people who were actually already making the teams. And so what am I going to do? I'm just going to fucking run the dungeon anyway.
Yeah.
So from 10 p.m. till 3:30 in the morning, we just ran it. And people came.
Yes.
Because they still wanted game. And all the other NSCs and all the other game that was happening was either in a tavern or in people's private tents or not on the battlefield. So we just ran that damn dungeon.
Yeah, actually, I was pretty surprised because the people also was getting very excited over there.
Yeah.
And also they were fighting a little bit with the mod, but it also was funny too. It was as there is some benefits sometimes when you are in the backgrounds.
Yeah.
Because people are super cool, but I have to accept that it's a little bit muddy, and you are literally wearing 20-30 kilos of heavy armor. You will suffer.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. Also, people are really happy, even though they were getting satisfied. So I have to accept that is between the technical problems in the ground.
Yeah.
People are really good. So,
but it's always crazy.
See, unfortunately, the force of the nature is out of our hands. But the rest, we can basically fix almost everything. So it's fine.
But it's crazy to see how, like, during that conquest that was so drenched in rain.
They call it Mythodea.
Yeah,
But the creativity of people and that they still managed to generate like play out of that and to just still have fun and have a good time, even though it did generate a lot of problems.
Yeah, once you're in time, you're in time.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I think actually one of my craziest memories from that was I was performing, and then we ran off and did a dungeon, and then we ran back, and this is no small distance. Okay, so we were performing. Actually, maybe this was the year before. No, okay, I lied. It wasn't the same year. It wasn't the same. It was a completely different year. But there were so many good memories, and like you say, people staying in time, even through the dealing with the mud.
And I mean, people going fishing in the puddles.
Oh yeah,
I think children had more fun than anyone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the children. That was funny. I have to say, it was like I wanted to do the same.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But look, that was exciting. One of the and it's crazy times. But seeing new place, new NSC factions, new challenges. The summer has been hot. The summer has been warm. The events so far have been really quite blessed. There was a tiny bit of rain at Chronicles. Came off the back of Chronicles. We'll be talking about that more over the next few weeks. So stay tuned. We do have some important and quite exciting updates coming for Chronicles. I'm not going to tell you what, but there is a video coming. You may have been waiting for it for a while, but it is coming. It's just coming with the important announcements that we're going to be talking about. Warhammer, it's out. We've got all of the Warhammer stuff pre-order, online, available. Look, we had this crazy experience with Warhammer where we're like, okay, we've got everything done. All the weapons are done. All the clothes are done. Everything's ready. And the weapons even came to the warehouse. And
already have it.
because we want a holistic approach, and because of the special arrangements that we sort of made with Warhammer, we don't want to be releasing the weapons alongside and without the clothes at the same time. It's all coming out as one package together. But we had some issues with regard to some natural disasters that happened in the places that these weapons were being manufactured.
Yeah. A little bit.
So not the weapons, the clothes, sorry. So that's caused some delays, and we do apologize for that. But they are now, I believe, on their way. We don't have an exact date. We've got to make any solid promises, but get up there and get them while you can, because if you had a look at any of the samples that were going on at RPB over the weekend, you can see that there's some really, really nice sets going together. Check them out on the website, see what's going on. But as excited as we are about the Warhammer project, there's a project that's a little closer to home that we talked about for the first time at RPV. And it kind of ties into our ethos of making historical clothing. Okay? So we made a series of historical clothes we make a series of historical clothing, that historically inspired clothes that cover all the way from 8th to sort of 14th century.
Yeah.
And we thought, well, we probably need some accessories to go with these clothes.
Yeah.
And we've had a particularly talented artist who's been working with us for quite some time, and we're lucky enough to have in the organization. And this is a guy called Kieran, and he's been responsible for making all of the D&D weapons, making all the Warhammer weapons, doing all of the original 3D sculpts. But we're turning our attention back to our roots after going down this fantasy road, and we've actually started focusing on what is a historical line of swords. We started to do some research. So I'm going to pop up a little slideshow now that just is like a little teaser. This is very, very in development at the moment. Very, very much in development at the moment. But as you can see, we're using some of the Oakshott standards for references, the sword sizes and styles. But then we're using those as inspirations to move into some 3D models where we're really sort of taking those sword blade silhouettes and the sword handle styles, and we're trying to recreate this. Some of the images that you're seeing now is some of the early work that Kieran has done. It's like some parallels with the Oakshott book, and we know that historically there are some issues with the reference guide that we have for Oakshott? Yeah, I'm not sure. Sorry.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. I apologize for murdering the enunciation of that. So those are some of the pictures that you're seeing there from some of those reference guides. And then these are some of the 3D models that you can see right now sort of coming together on the screen. We have a little switcheroo behind the scenes. Bear with us. You can't see this. Nobody knows what's happening. It's like switcheroo. And we're going to come back to our center hall. And as you can see, we've magically transformed what's appearing on the stage in front of us with some of the actual prints that we've done from the 3D models. So Oakshott, while it is a little bit problematic, and some people will cite issues with it, it does pretty accurately catalog a lot of different sword crossguards, sword handles, and sword blade types in a chronological order. And between this book's reference and the reference of actual historians that Kieran knows personally, has been working with, but haven't yet been willing to put their names on the project. So we'll get it signed off. But a lot of the things that we're working with are not just images from this book, but also actual museum examples that hopefully the weapons that we produce will be able to be cited from. We're working with a few different handle types, a few different blade types. So we're not sure exactly what the final combinations are going to look like as they manifest, but there will probably be a variety of options and possibly some interchangeable options. Whether or not you'll be able to change those options yourself, or just make selections from some pre-selected combinations that we put together for the website. We don't know yet, but what we do know is that we're really excited about the technology that we've been developing for the swords that we've been making so far, and then just bringing that into what really feels like quite an amazing historical sword.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please.
Let me help you here for a second. You want to take it?
I would like to hold it.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
What always strikes me about historical swords when you hold them, particularly by comparison to LARP swords, is actually the feeling of the handle and the lightness of the
The
blade.
lightness, yeah, it's really light.
Again, one of the guys say, "Take my wallet." It makes it more for form swords. I like it.
Yeah. Look, more foam swords. And I think that the other thing that's really exciting us is as much as we've been enjoying like working on the Warhammer and the D&D lines, there's a certain amount of freedom that comes with like getting back into our own franchises, into the Realms of Mythodea franchise, and really back to our roots, which is the historical processes, like the historically inspired clothing and silhouettes and those textiles and textures and heels.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's actually one of the cool things for me was seeing at RPV, like trying to play Spot the Burgschneider.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So if you meet me party,
Yeah. I saw somebody who made a really cool historically inspired outfit based on a D&D garment. So I think he had layered like 2 layers of the paladin outfit together, and then had like made this really cool historically accurate hat, and had some sort of like some braids going on, and had some Chaucer's braids. I always get those two confused. And just was really rocking the look. Actually got footage of him. I didn't bring it on this one, but hey, keep an eye out.
But in the next one, maybe.
Maybe in the next one. Maybe in the next stream. But with regard to these streams, like we are actually open to engagement. We're open to interest. Like if you can, we are going to be trying to engage with the comments as much as possible. Obviously, this is our first stream.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
we're only doing so much. We've got a tiny but very enthusiastic crowd. Like really, it's awesome to have some questions and some interactions.
Thank you for everyone who tuned in.
Yeah. Tell them next time. Tell your friends. Come join us next time. Ask us more questions within the scope of our, of what we can do. We will answer what we can. And also, we're keen to hear any ideas you have about what do you want to hear about? What do you want to know about what's going on inside Burgscneider? Our ideas. What people do you want to hear from? Do you want to make some recommendations for other people outside of Burgscneider that you'd like to see appearing on the stream? Possibly even from other LARPs or other tabletop game creators. Come and join us. We'll definitely be featuring some in-house people, some of our in-house team and creators, and people who've worked with us in the past. It's been exciting.
Yeah.
I feel like I was just a ball of nerves.
I was more nervous than I thought I would be.
Yeah, but
This first
after we
episode.
finish, I have to accept that all the people that are getting in contact at the beginning, thank you so much, because they, as us, they wanted to be in contact with the community. Also, part of the community wanted to stay with us. They're like, hey, I'm doing this. What can I do together? So I'm glad that the people also get in this position to work with us.
Yeah.
So as a person that working in the backgrounds, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. And keep sharing all of your progress content on all of our various Facebook groups. We've got the Discord that just launched recently, and that's really the core focus for a lot of the Realms of Mythodea. This is the Realms of Mythodea Discord that we're talking about. And obviously, this is all Burgschneider that we're looking at here. But if you're not yet in the Realms of Mythodea Discord, jump into the links below in this video. Jump in there, become a member of the Discord, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We've got a lot of new content coming out. Tell your friends about it. If you've got updates or development photos, we want to see what you're doing with the Burgschneider products that are coming out, how you're interpreting them, how you're changing them, modifying them. We've got some exciting videos that we might be making as well about modifications and how we might suggest to do it, but we'd love to see that in parallel with the stuff that you're doing. There are a few little projects. There might be hints. There are hints rumoring in the background of maybe an old Burgschneider project that was quite popular being resurfaced that has some community involvement.
Yay.
And many, many, many more things that we didn't talk about this week. But that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Whatever we missed,
Exactly.
we'll come back for you. We'll come back again
Yeah.
next week. And more updates from Sarkhan, more updates from Burgschneider, more updates from Brandywine, more updates from Warhammer,
Chronicles.
Chronicles, Stormvogt, all of the cool stuff that's been going on. Really appreciate you being here. Really appreciate your support. Jump in, subscribe if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Like the video, comment like you have been.
All the
Ring that
things.
bell.
Cool. And
Let us
we,
go to another event.
yeah, let's go to another. Yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys at another event. You'll see us around
Yeah.
and the other people who are going to be joining us as we go forwards. But thank you again so much for joining us. We have been Burgschneider Live. Jump on the socials in the bottom, like, click, subscribe, and we will see you next time for another super exciting episode of Burgschneider.